Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. Okay, my name is Jason, and we're out here on Sunday, and against natural day. We're gonna talk about Jesus, right? So I'm excited about this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, we're going through the book of John. We're in John chapter 4, and in John chapter 4, we started off with Jesus encountering the Samaritan woman at the well. We talked about the living water, and now here we are, same encounter, but it's gonna switch gears a moment in that encounter. Okay, so after Jesus said, hey, you can come to me and I'll give you water and you'll never thirst again. So in verse 15, it says here, the woman said to him, sir, give me this water so that I won't get thirsty and have to keep coming here to draw water. He told her, go call your husband and come back. I have no husband, she replied. Jesus said to her, you are right when you say you have no husband. The fact is you have had 5 husbands, and the man you have now, he's not your husband. So what you said is quite true. So now she's getting uncomfortable. Verse 19, she said, sir, the woman said, I can see that you're a prophet. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you Jews claim that the place where we must worship is in Jerusalem. And Jesus declared, believe me, woman, a time is coming when you will worship the Father neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. You Samaritans worship what you do not know. We worship what we do know, for salvation is from the Jews. Yet a time is coming and has now come when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship in spirit and in truth. The woman said, I know that Messiah, called Christ, is coming. When he comes, he will explain everything to us. And then Jesus declared, I who speak to you am he. All right. So here, honestly, Jesus goes full on God mode in this spot. He's flexing that God gene. He's absolutely showing that, hey, I'm the guy. I'm the guy everybody's been looking for. I am the one who's coming to save the Jews and everyone else. He's not hiding it at all. He's not mixing words. He's not talking in parables. He's just straight up telling you, I am the Messiah. Now after she gets uncomfortable, because she got really uncomfortable when Jesus said, hey, you're right, you've had a lot of husbands and the dude you're with now is not the husband too. So she got uncomfortable because Jesus just straight up called her out and showed he knew a lot more than what she was comfortable with, right? But now she changes the subject. Okay, look, well, you Jews say that we got to go to Jerusalem, but we say we got to worship on this mountain. They were on Mount Gerizim, Gerizim. So they were there. Samaritans believed that was the proper place to worship. Jews believed you had to go to Jerusalem to worship. All right, so that was part of the argument. Part of the problem with Samaritans and Jews, because Samaritans and Jews did not get along. They disagreed on everything, and Jews saw them as second-rate citizens, second-rate people in general. Okay, so then Jesus said, well, believe me, a time's coming where you're not going to worship on the mountain. You ain't going to Jerusalem. You ain't doing nothing. You're going to worship God in spirit and in truth. Because he said God is spirit. So what he meant there is, God's everywhere. What Jesus is saying there is that God is everywhere. He's not on the mountain. He's not in Jerusalem, or at least not exclusively. He's not exclusively on the mountain. He's not exclusively in Jerusalem. He's everywhere. He's absolutely everywhere. And he said, so time's coming when you're going to worship this being in spirit and in truth. And that's who God really is seeking. That's what God's looking for. So what he's saying today is this. It's not an individual act in a certain place that God's looking for people to worship him in. All right? He's saying you're going to worship him where you're at with your life. And that's exactly what we got to be realizing today. Is that God is not exclusively in 4 walls on a Sunday morning, on a Sunday night, or a Wednesday night, or at a special gathering or whatever. He's not exclusively there. Going to church is great. You should. Go ahead. Absolutely. Please. But your real worship is spirit and truth. Okay? Your spirit and truth worship is a sincere worship that is done Monday through Saturday. Right? That is our real worship. It's not singing a few songs and then going out to the Golden Corral, right? It's not singing a few songs and beating the Methodists or the Baptists or the Pentecostals, whoever you want to say, out to the buffet, out to the restaurants. It's not it's not just throwing some money in a plate and calling it good. That's a hard one for people. But it's not all that. All these things can be part of worship, but that is not the end all be all of worship. True worship, the thing that truly honors God the most is when you live your life in a way that pleases God. Romans 12:1, right? Romans 12:1 says that offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual life to worship. Then you'll be able to test and prove what God's will is. Okay, Romans 12:1 too. Okay, that's living sacrifice. You are a living sacrifice. In Romans 12:9, it says love must be sincere. I love that verse. That it has to be sincere. It has to be of a true heart. It has to be of a pure heart. You have to really mean it. In here. It's not just something you're saying. It's something you truly live and believe, and like from a changed heart and a changed life. That is worship to God. If you're just singing songs and calling it good, if you're just throwing some money in a plate and forgetting about living your life to please God, without living a changed life, a sincere love for people, then God feels like it's just lip service. It's an insult to him. And to me, that'd be insulting. If God would be like, you really think I'm that stupid? You really think I'm that stupid that that I can't comprehend that you don't really mean what you say because your actions don't back it up? Honestly, I'm like, if somebody tells me that, if somebody treats me that way, I'm like, y'all really think I'm dumb? Come on, man. God knows who you are. He knows your heart. And being a real, honest person is worshipful to God. So what he says is, you're not going to worship God in a specific place. You're not going to be worshiping God on this mountain. You're not going to be worshiping God in the city. You're going to be worshiping God with your life. It's not going to be in the four walls of a church. It's not going to be in some specific place. God is everywhere, and you can worship him daily in your life, in your walk with Christ. And how you live, and like singing songs in your car is fine, but how you live is far more worshipful. In the modern era, some people take this scripture, they worship in spirit and truth. Those are the worshipers God's seeking. Those are the worshipers the Father's seeking. So what they're saying is, these people, more of a modern Pentecostal, charismatic style, which is fine. I'm with you on that. That's good. But like, they're going to take this and say that this is what God's talking about, and we need to worship actions in a certain way while we sing. So we need to have certain actions going on while we sing, and more passionate when we sing, which is good, fine, absolutely. I'm passionate when I sing too. That's fine, but that's not exactly what God's talking about. All right. Now it's great, it's good, and I love it. I think you should be that way, absolutely. But the enthusiasm when you sing worship to God should be real and not put on. So, but that's what people are going to say is we're going to be the worshipers God's seeking, right? But what he's really saying is I'm seeking worshipers with a sincere and pure heart who are going to worship me everywhere they are. You're going to worship me at 1 o'clock on Sunday when I've left the church. It's going to worship me on Friday night when I've had a long week and maybe I need to unwind. And certain people are going to act a certain way because they think it's Friday night. I can get forgiveness on Sunday. When God's really saying, where you are, be a pure heart. I want you to be sincere in everything you do. But then she goes on, she's like, well, I know when Messiah comes, so after Jesus flexes the God gene, she says, well, I know when the Messiah comes, he's gonna explain everything. This is all confusing to me. Messiah's gonna explain it all to us. And Jesus said, yes, I am he, you're right. I'm trying to explain this to you right now. So you're speaking to him. One of the most blunt things Jesus said about being the Messiah was right here. I am he. Right? So again, worship God with a pure heart. That's truly what God's seeking. That's truly what Jesus is talking about. Not in the four walls, not just on certain locations, not just on certain days. It's every day. It's a 24/7 type thing, 365. And you're going to mess up. But you gotta be a pure heart. You gotta have a pure heart. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Again, if you have comments, praise reports, prayer requests, please leave them in the comment section below. We do appreciate it and love to hear from you and love to pray for you. Again, my name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. Love you guys. God bless you. Goodbye.